There's a conversation that I've seen going on that I've been aware of since 2000, heavily since 2012, probably moderately from my own personal experience. 2009. So how long is that? 17 years ago. And it's this journey of being from the head to the heart. And I think that can be confusing, especially if you're trying to understand this intuitive brilliance that we have in our heart, this vessel that lives in the center of our chest, like a compass guiding us to truth. Might not guide us where we think it's supposed to go, but where we need to go, or the errors along the way. And our head is a magnificent device kind of like a phone, a computer, and it's designed to keep us safe. Call it the mind, call it the head. And it's fear-based. It's necessary, but also, like, I love Toyota. That's a device. That's a vehicle. It would be kind of crazy if I thought I was my Toyota. I drive a Toyota. Well, not now. I just sold it. I'll be buying another one I'll put the order in like a month before I move back to the States. But it would be irresponsible to think I am my car. And on the surface, especially if we live in a Western culture, Western world, a mind-identified world, we think we are our thoughts. There's a lot talked about in the spiritual journey about healing. And I think it's so important. And I think when taken to an extreme, it can be love and light and drinking cacao and hugging your boyfriends, not literally, your friends who happen to be male, in the woods, and singing songs and dancing barefoot and more cacao and then some mushrooms, and it can get lost in feeling. So, however, healing is so fucking necessary, especially when we're healing things that have to do with the mind, so we can live through and from what's true, our heart. Or also healing or taking off our armor of what has protected us or given us the illusion of protection from our emotion, or in our, protecting our emotions, protecting our heart. There's also alchemizing, turning these negative experiences, turning these, traumas to something beautiful, to something magnificent, to even seeing it to a higher intention or a higher purpose, whatever you believe, your higher self, God, the universe, that something in you or your experience chose to have these difficult experiences for you to learn, live, and grow. I got a family of birds outside. They're getting a little more courageous each day. They're sending us some future family energy, whether you're rebuilding your family or excited to start one soon. Anyways, moving on as the bird just came in. But we have healing. We have alchemizing. And sometimes things are just as simple as to just go, fuck bro, I gotta let go of this shit. It's not some great healing journey or some learning process, I just gotta let go. And one that's not talked about enough, that is talked about a little more now, is burning away what's not you. Or said differently, burning away the lies. Burning away the fears. Even the truck backing up outside agrees. Burning away the fears, the limitations of what's not true. Our hearts aren't afraid. We can feel fear in our mind and protect our heart and say, my heart is afraid. My heart doesn't have fear. In this lifetime, there's a few core things. Call it your purpose, call it something to commit to. But going deeper and deeper into the truth of who you are, what you want, and how you're meant to live is one of the most fulfilling, honorable things a man can possibly do. I believe, and I've found, it's been my journeys with ayahuasca, it's been my own personal experience, telling the truth, owning who and what you are, what you want, and living in alignment, said differently, integrity, congruence. I believe that radically changes the biochemistry, serotonin levels, overall happiness, horniness, morning wood, testosterone. Again, you might think this is Phil science, and maybe it somewhat is. However, we're gonna take a walk. Well, I'm gonna close these windows as it's downpouring. There's something very necessary and very noble to burning off what's not us. Otherwise, if we stay in this stuck place of what we're afraid of I hope this doesn't happen, I hope this, getting a mini tour of the apartment, looks like there's only one window open, then we ultimately stay in a place of fear. And here's an interesting concept, especially if you're someone who wants to take your relationship with, whether it's your girlfriend or wife or soon to be, with sexuality deeper. If as men, we live in a place of incongruence, we live in a place of fear, whether we like it or not, that energy is coming off of us. We're transmuting that energy. Our voice isn't quite as punctuated. Not that we have to be yelling to assert our dominance. That can be some bullshit, fake alpha nonsense. But that we're just expressing ourselves in a healthy sense of expression. And whether it's our presence with the gaze in our eyes, our hug, or literally making love or penetrating our woman, what we haven't taken care of, what we haven't healed, what we haven't let go of, what we haven't alchemized, what we haven't burned off that no longer serves us, as a result, we pass that on to the people we love the most, especially our intimate partner. No one receives it more than her. Got one more window here, back one. So we will ultimately affect and we can infect those we love the most, especially our intimate partner. And I was thinking here, and you hear this stuff of a lot of people I know had either, second, you're getting the kitchen tour today, a little biohacking tutorial. No, not really. The people we love the most have to receive our incongruences. If you've watched this long in the video, or if you clicked on this in the first place, I believe there is an ever-growing group of men who know they're here for something very fucking special. And the fact that you're watching this at 8 minutes in, I sense that's you. There's an ever-growing group of men. Is it the majority? Absolutely not. Will it be? Probably not. That know they're here for something more. That know they're here to break the chains of the fears, of the abuse, of the trauma, of the anger, of the chaos, of all the above, the fear of their lineage. If you're someone who's doing spirituality, doing personal development, working on yourself, or being spirituality, being personal development, on your biohacking journey, you are different. I believe if you're watching this, you're most likely, or you are, someone here to set that straight down your family lineage. And it starts with you. There's a lot of talk about how relationships should be this way or that way. Ultimately, the first relationship you have is the relationship with yourself. I've never been much into the Chinese New Year until recently. I just thought a lot of this stuff resonated. And as I was going to go into earlier when I was in the kitchen, if you look at these last couple of years, a lot of people I know, especially people that are really doing their work, either 2024 or 2025 was a difficult ass year. Hard, not fun, or both. Hopefully one or the other at least. For me, it was 2024. 2025 was a lot of growth, and 2024 was rough and then rebuilding on the second half. So we've established that, or that could resonate. Let's look at this last year, which closes out in less than 2 weeks, of this year of the snake, of shedding. And I was talking with a friend last night about this. I was like, hey, do you believe in it? He's like, it doesn't really matter if I believe in it. He goes, I do, but it's useful. I go, that's how I see it. So whether you believe in the Chinese year or not, If it's useful, use it. If not, let it go. If this is the year to really go at full speed, and this is a year to set the seeds you plant this year is going to set you up for the next decade of your life. How do you want to show up? Who do you want to be? And if you had a good year in these last couple of years, or you had a hard year, a bit of both like I did, how we choose to initiate ourselves. An initiation in modern day is not a one-time thing where you go and hunt an elk or something. It could be a part of it. Or you go and you do a vision quest, or you do whatever. Modern day men that really want to grow and be at the top of their game are regularly initiated. If they're not, I believe they'll actually lose a sense of respect and trust in themselves, because they'll know they kind of lost their balls, they kind of lost their fire, or they got domesticated. So we talked about that earlier. We talked about letting go. We talked about healing. We talked about alchemizing, and certain things just burn it away. Whatever's not truth, light that motherfucker on fire. What are you going to leave behind in these next couple weeks and go into 2026? We're already in, but the year of the horse, even more powerfully. Who are you really going to become? And not just for you, who are you going to become, and who are you going to expand into for others, for your partner, for your kids, for your future kids, and for who you're here to serve? Thanks for tuning in. See you soon.